FM 105.7 and AM 1340. WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Love is in the air everywhere I turn around. Matt Dixon's on the air. Dixon, how we doing, brother? Everywhere I turn around.
Good. Doing all right.
You pumped? Are you pumped today?
Yeah. It's going to be a long night, but yeah, I'm
sugar,
pumped.
Man. Sweet and sugar with the candied yams. You know that's true. Kill! Tonight's going to be a long one. 9 o'clock start. Watching Missouri and Tennessee play basketball. I could think of better things to do at my time. John Adams, as I welcome you in. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, and I think Tennessee-Missouri could be a really good game. I thought that Tennessee-Vanderbilt game was outstanding.
Wasn't that a great game?
Yes. This team made – both teams did. Both teams made really tough shots.
Oh. You
can win a lot of games in the tournament playing the way they did in that game.
Both those teams. Yeah, they functioned in
against tough
street
defense.
Fight. You know what I like about that game Saturday, which really Matt was on with us briefly, but Maury Hanks was with us. I love when officials, because they did it in the hockey game Sunday, when they just get out of the way and let the guys decide it. Unless something really egregious happens, let them play. I know that people say, well, Nate Ament got clutched and grabbed, and it's what led to his 3 for 13 performance, and I get all that. But I think there's a place for just letting the guys play and letting them decide it. And the game's played in the 60s instead of maybe the high 70s or the 80s. Maybe it's a little more defensive. But I thought it was a compelling college basketball game.
It really was. But to your point, though, those things can get out of hand when you let too much physical play go on without penalties. And then you've got a street fight.
Yeah.
And that's not good for anybody. You get players ejected. They can't play the next game. So I don't know why you said that, but let's go.
Well, I enjoy that. To me, that added to the game. Matt and Bry, do you guys agree or disagree with that? I think that added to the enjoyment of the game. What do y'all think?
Well, I hope that as we go along that teams won't get – I'm worried if they get too physical with the Mint, that could take him off his track, and that could really hurt us going forward.
See, what I like, though –
that's my concern.
Here's my thing, Bri. Here's my thing. That's why I like playing in a league like this. You know, I was watching that Houston-Kansas game last night. And, hey, you play in a league like that, you're going to get prepared for all kinds of things. You're going to see the high-end talent. You're going to get street fights with a team like Houston. They're going to drag you into it. Tennessee won a game on the road where the Zebras let everybody play, where Ament at the end of it was all beat up. People are saying it was too physical. Matt, what do you think? I don't know that the game was too physical. I like when the refs let people play.
I think almost all the time, the more physical a game's allowed to be, that's an advantage for Tennessee. I mean, it's not so much with Ament in this year, but just the way Tennessee defends. I just think you prefer less whistles. That usually helps Tennessee.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because our front line's able to beat on people.
There's always fewer whistles and fouls called in the tournament.
Yep.
Especially on some of the stuff inside, going for rebounds and stuff around the basket. So it kind of helps you prepare for that as well. So,
and here's the other thing.
Can get bullied, but he's just got to figure out a way to play through it.
Here's the other thing.
Ament's been money at the foul line.
Oh, it's
we
great.
want him going to the free throw line as much as possible.
I love, guys, that Tennessee wins that game without Estrella. It's a tough environment. And here's the other thing. Give Vanderbilt a lot of credit, John. They're very good. That's a very good SEC basketball team with the ability in March. If they had a little more frontline play, that's a team that could win a bunch of games.
If they had Jalen Carey.
Yeah.
The transfer to Tennessee. I thought I don't think anybody else will hold Tyler Nickel to 3 points. the rest of the year.
No.
He had one bad. He just
They aggravated him, man.
They aggravated him, and he also just had a.
Yeah.
He started pressing because they need him to score. He's a great 3-point shooter, and so Vanderbilt really, even though Vanderbilt lost, the fact that they were in that game, the way it went, and Nickel didn't contribute hardly anything, Vanderbilt could be a tough out in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I think there's any question. Matt wasn't here yesterday. Bry was. I'm going to have John and Matt take our little quiz that we did yesterday.
I don't like quizzes.
You'll do okay on this one.
No, I probably
And then
not.
later on today in the program, let's see here. Let me look at my time here because it's very next level. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll hold the quiz because we're going to play Mizzou tonight. Gabe DeArman's going to join. He's fired up, folks, prepared. Baseball team's got Bellarmine, a program that Chris Burke helped put together up there and bring to Division I. How about Berkey and the job he's done on that Bellarmine program up there, Matt? It's a good story, isn't it? Bringing them to D1 as he has.
Yeah, he's done wonders there.
Yep.
Yeah, really helped them get off the mat.
Yep. Brian Hartman, what'd you think of John Adams' column on the softball team that he's written? John is now locked and loaded on this Lady Vol softball team who is achieving the megala props they're deserved because, Brian, they are hammering people, Brian Hartman. They're getting started like the hammer, and they're finishing like Shaquille.
It only let me read the first paragraph. I would like to read the whole thing, but...
Hey, Brian, here's a tip. Subscribe. It doesn't cost a lot.
Support John's work.
Yeah, and subscribe while you're in my column. That will actually help me.
Really? So if I go to your column...
And subscribe.
You get the credit for that. You get the credit for that.
If the system works as it's supposed to, it does it always.
Let me ask you something. How often does the system work? Let's rip back corporate office. Is this technical stuff not just maddening to you? I about took my computer last night and threw it through a plate glass window. It was pissing me off so bad.
Well, here's the thing about computers.
Yes.
They've been a real asset in my business.
Yep.
But because they're computers, you expect them to always function the same way.
Exactly.
But they don't. And once I get off in the weeds, I might as well be on Neptune. I'm totally lost. I don't have the computer instincts.
Well, I'm just getting used to my technology in here.
But you have Laura who's good at this.
Today I was editing and I had to figure something out. And I put in Google exactly what the program is I'm using, Adobe Audition 2026. And how do you I've used this program all my life, but they make these changes, and now I'm working on a Mac. How do you create silence? Because I did a commercial today with Alan of WeShipFloors.com, who's got a lot of great things to say. I just had to create a little silence in there, kind of put a...
Well, did you consult with Laura? Can't she?
No. I figured it out. No, She doesn't edit things. I figured it out. But the point is, if I would have sat there, John, and just clicked a bunch of buttons, I could have gotten myself in trouble.
Oh, that's so dangerous. Yeah.
I would look like the Lady Vols trying to get back on defense on Sunday. It wouldn't have been happening. What do you make of that? Because we're going to talk about that program.
Reagan Beers, Oklahoma's post player, who's a really good player.
Great name for her because she looks like a softball player that should be drinking some beers.
She's husky, and she's laughing all the time. She's the happiest player I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
One time
she should have some great NIL deals with that name.
Oh no
my
kidding.
Gosh.
They could do, instead of Reagan Beers, it could be Ragin' Beers.
Yep.
It's Rainin' Beers.
Back in the old days of TNA match, she could have been sponsored by Beer Money, the old tag team Beer Money. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but there was a play where, and she's not the fastest player out there, but she's got a lot of effort. and she beat the Lady Vols back for a layup, transition D.
What exactly? Do they play hard, this team, or what are we doing?
I think they play hard in spurts.
Because Kim Caldwell now likes them, she said. She's 2 weeks later.
She likes them?
She likes them.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
How about that Brian, how about that softball team? How good are they? How good is that story? And what are they doing? Where do they get all these players, Bri?
Well, they literally could have on SEC weekends a different pitcher starting each game, and they're capable of throwing a complete game and winning.
John, they're not even using the gal that's the,
I know. She's just kind of like, oh, well, she'll
we'll use her.
Yeah, we'll save her. Might save her for June. See you in Oklahoma City.
And they're hitting it? They're mashing people, John.
They have 20 home runs. Their opponents have 1.
Goal!
They've outscored 14 opponents, 132-5. That looks like Tennessee football under General Nealon. 132-5.
Well, they're actually playing good teams too. Like they're playing ranked opponents.
I know,
right?
Yeah,
Matt.
They don't have a Tony Vitello non-conference schedule.
Matt, we're going to do this later, but James Daniel IV is claiming that Elander is a flatliner after the weekend. Are you surprised, Matt, that people are panicking like this and they're like they forget that under Tony, we started the SEC season one year up there when he had his guys bundled up like Ralphie from Christmas Story. I thought one of our guys on that team was going to go and lick the fence and get his tongue caught when they had them all bundled up. They look like little Martians out there, Matt, at Missouri that one day, and we got swept. They act like this stuff never happened under Tony Vitello, Matt. What are we doing?
I don't know. I guess it's just kind of prisoners of the moment.
This James Daniel guy who I like.
It was an awful weekend.
He calls Elander he calls him a flatliner, Matt. He says he's
if that's your take, that can be your take. I mean, he's not Tony Vitello, so I don't know what to say that after like 7 games is.
I mean, come on,
a little silly.
But I just think it's the idea of losing to a MAC team. The first time it's lost a non-conference series at home since 6 years.
Should have gotten swept. End of the day.
Very easily could have.
We come back. We will be joined by Gabe DeArman. Gabe DeArman. He's at PowerMizzou.com. Tonight, the Vols of Mizzou. It is a 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off. We'll be on when the game's over, which means today we've got – John's going to love this. It's going to be a quick show today. We're on for 2 today. Because if you think I'm going overtime when I'm going to be broadcasting tomorrow morning, to quote the great Rob Halford, well, we'll probably do some overtime. But you got another thing coming.
You say things you're going to do or not do, and then you end up doing them or not doing them. I'm
a man of my word after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Guffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Guffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Guffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Guffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Guffon.com. That's Guffon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Guffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at PipeWrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit PipeWrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly. So the Vols tonight will be in the con zone, in a sense, because Conzo Martin has us in Missouri in common. Or we have, I guess that's something we have in common with Missouri. Let's bring Gabe DeArman in here. I'm just thinking out loud here. He's at PowerMizzou.com. And Gabe, I welcome you in against a backdrop that I love talking to you, man. You're good people. So welcome in, my brother.
Appreciate that, Tony. Good to talk to you, man.
And by the way, we do share Conzo Martin, and the zone defense is going to be fun tonight. This is what Missouri does. They kind of junk it up a little bit, and boy, they're really a weird basketball team. Weird team, but fun to watch.
Completely unpredictable. I mean, they have, if you look at their SEC games, they've beaten Florida, they've won at Kentucky, they beat Vanderbilt, and then they lost to Ole Miss and LSU. Nobody has any idea.
Well, how do you explain it?
They're a bubble team. They're the definition of a bubble team, right? They have a high ceiling. It's why I think if they can just win 2 more games, they're going to get in. I mean, they have better wins than most teams on the bubble. And the thing about being in the SEC is the losses that you think are bad losses, like at LSU is a quad 1 loss. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but it is. Every game they play, with the exception of just a couple, I mean, in league play, they got blown out by Alabama, but every game comes down to the wire. I mean, Ole Miss, Georgia, LSU were games that they could have won in the last 2 minutes. Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Florida had shots in the air to beat Missouri, and Missouri won. So, you got to pay attention for all 40.
Well, I mean, the Vanderbilt game last week's a great example. A buddy of mine texts me, he goes, man, because we're getting ready to play him, on Saturday over the weekend. He goes, Vandy is getting absolutely waxed. And I flip it over, and Vanderbilt's got this, because we had just gotten done our post-game show, and Vandy's got this furious comeback on. I mean, like, furious comeback.
I was texting with a friend of mine that covers Vanderbilt, and when it was like 15 or whatever, he's like, "They're done. I've seen this game before. They just don't come back against physical teams like this." And I said, "No, Missouri lets everybody back in the game. Like they have trouble finishing." And he texted me at the end of the game, said, "Well, you were right. They survived, but it was interesting."
John Adams of my Knoxville News Sentinel will jump in here. We got the great Gabe DeArman with us, PowerMizzou.com.
Gabe, what's it like covering this team, covering this coach?
Like Dennis isn't great to cover. The press conferences are like we've used the Michael Scott meme of like sometimes I start a sentence and I just start talking and I don't know where it's going to go. The worst way to get an answer to a question is to ask Dennis directly. Like if you want to know about Mark Mitchell, ask about anything but Mark Mitchell. At the same time, every now and then he will give you a little bit of a look into the humanity. I asked him, because Tyler Tanner's shot that was in the air to beat Missouri from half court, the way it was lined up, like Tanner was directly between the basket and where Dennis Gabe stands. And I said, you had to have the best view of that, of anybody in the arena. What were you thinking when that ball's in the air? And he said, well, the first thing I thought is, oh, blank, because Mark Mitchell threw the ball too short and turned it over, And so every now, after one of the wins earlier this year, he answered a question. He said, I would like to thank our guys for letting me be the biggest, another cuss word, in the world last week to get them ready to play this game. So every now and then you'll get something that I was just telling somebody earlier this week. I always feel like a huge victory when I manage to get a human response from Dennis Gates.
Jeez. That's kind of depressing.
One thing I love about Gabe is he's been around long enough to see him come and see him go, and he just kind of speaks. Yep. He kind of calls it like, calling balls and strikes over here. Matt Dixon, jump in here as tonight we're going to have a late one on our Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime, a 9 o'clock local time start. We're going to have some midnight madness tonight. Matt, jump in.
Yeah, Gabe, you mentioned how volatile this Missouri team is. When things are going well, are there any kind of common themes that they do? And then on the flip side, when they get in those stretches where they play poorly, are there any kind of common themes there as well?
Yeah, well, when they're playing well, they shoot the ball well, right? That sounds dumb, but it's every team. When the ball goes in from outside, it really opens things up for Mark Mitchell and Sean Phillips down low. Sean Phillips being on the floor is very important. Like, the numbers aren't great, but he's kind of all they got at the 5. And, Sean Miller put it great because against Texas, Sean Phillips picked up 2 fouls in like 3 minutes. And I asked Miller, I said, what changes with Missouri's defense when Sean Phillips isn't on the floor? And he said, he makes every position bigger. And he said, in other words, Mark Mitchell at the power forward at 6'9", 230 or whatever is pretty big. 6'9", 230 at the 5 is not big. And when Mark Mitchell has to play the 5, then the 3 has to shift to the 4 and all that, so that the entire team becomes smaller at every position when he's off the floor. So I think that's going to be very important tonight. If JP Estrella plays, can Phillips stay out of foul trouble? I think that's a huge deal. If he doesn't play, I think that could be an edge for Missouri. When they're not playing well, they do 2 things. They turn the ball over. In the first 11 and a half minutes of the second half against Vandy, they had no turnovers. And that's when they got out to the 21-point lead. In the last 8.5 minutes, they had 7. And obviously Vandy made the huge comeback. And the second thing, when they're not playing well, it's just the defense, man. Like, they are giving up. About 2 months ago, I said, look, when every team shoots a season high from 3-point range against you, it ceases to be a coincidence. Like, you're not just unlucky that teams are shooting well. You're giving up looks. Their perimeter defense is not very good, and hey, sometimes teams still can't make them, right? We've seen teams miss open shots. But if teams are making open threes, I think Texas scored 1.7 points a possession in the second half against them. They scored on like 25 of 28 possessions. Vanderbilt went 11 of 14 in that comeback. So the defense is better than his last few teams have been. They don't force any turnovers. Like, his first 3 teams, they took the ball away all the time. They don't take the ball away at all. The half-court defense is a lot better, but when teams start to knock down perimeter shots, their defense really falls apart.
Sounds like they're going to have a little bit of a difficult time with Tennessee, the way you're describing this matchup.
Yeah, they play more similarly to Tennessee than they have in the past, right? I think, and Dennis has actually done pretty well against Tennessee, but this was almost a battle contrast in styles his first 3 years. Missouri wants to get out, they want to run, they want to force turnovers, they want to get up and down the court. We know Rick's teams want to play in the 60s. That's what they do. They're physical, they beat you up. Missouri is more similar to that this year. But they still have a really hard time. They are until Saturday against Arkansas, they were unbeaten when they score 73 points, and they hadn't won a game when they don't. So that's kind of the magic number. Now, they scored 86 against Arkansas and still got beat. Arkansas is a little bit of a different beast. I think it's one of the best offensive teams in the country. So, that rule kind of went out the window on Saturday.
Did they do that by design, or is that just the way the portal crumbles sometimes, and these are the players they ended up with?
Yeah, I think this is just kind of how it worked. He realized, there were a lot of people, myself included, who what they got in the portal last year, we looked at it and said, I don't know about this. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They lost Caleb Grill and Tamar Bates, and they didn't really replace the shooting. They went out and they got Sebastian Mack from UCLA, who his biggest strength seemed to be getting to the free throw line. But it didn't make, he's like a 28% shooter. It didn't make a lot of sense. He hadn't played in Missouri's last 5 games.
Yeah.
Then really late, they go get a kid named Jaden Stone, who had played at Detroit, went to West Virginia last year, suffered a catastrophic injury in the preseason, did not play at all, so ended up getting an extra year. He literally got the first call from Missouri when he was in the hospital. He told us before the season, I thought my career was over. I didn't think I was ever going to play again. He's their second leading scorer and probably their best three-point shooter. So that has helped. But I think it was really, Dennis has always played 9, 10, 11 guys. He plays 7 guys this year. He just doesn't have enough guys, so he's had to change what he does.
The great Gabe DeArman. On the way out, Gabe, football's practice is getting ready to start there. I was asking you off the air your early read on Missouri, and you said, talk about a roster flip. Walk us inside that deal.
Yeah, they've got 52 new players, and I don't think that's unusual. My friend that covers Ole Miss told me they've got 56. I think it's just kind of what it is these days, unless you are one of these coaches who, and there aren't very many of them, who insist high school recruiting is still the way to do it.
Okay.
So spring ball starts Friday, and I don't know what to expect, man. They're going to run the ball well because Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts are back and Caden Green's back on the offensive line, but they literally do not have a full-time defensive starter back from last year. So I laugh when everybody's putting out these top 25s in preseason. Dude, you don't even know what your own team has. Don't pretend you know what anybody else has. I couldn't tell you anything about Tennessee except it appears that Joey Aguilar is not the quarterback. That is the extent of my knowledge about Tennessee this year.
You know what the truth is about all these teams? It's going to take us a month of watching and paying attention to figure out who has what. And that's the truth, John. He's exactly right.
It's a real problem for the bookies.
Oh, they're getting smoked that first month of the season. Watch it. You talk about a soft target. Because it takes them a good 3 weeks to a month to kind of catch up to what – because they have these models, and they have to predict off these models. But like Gabe's saying, who knows, man? It's crazy. It's fun to watch, Gabe. It's made college football, to me, a little more compelling. It's a little ridiculous, but it's compelling.
Absolutely. Look, I think it kind of drives everybody nuts, and there's a lot of fans who are like, how am I supposed to even get to know who's on the team? Or, there's no more following this guy as he redshirts and develops in 4 years and all that. Guess what? Missouri fans love Ahmad Hardy. He's been here 1 year, but that's fine. You love it when it works for you, and you hate it when it goes against you.
Yeah, and it's crazy how you can get attached to people. Or now, if you're at some place for 2 years, you've had a long career.
And here's another aspect of this with the NIL. I'm sure Ahmad Hardy's getting some money. Okay, well, prior to this era, though, a running back, he's only got so much tread on the tires. He's got a short career span, and he's off to the NFL. Mm-hmm. Now he can make good money and stay another year in college. In Hardy's case, he's a terrific running back. Jamal Roberts.
Yeah, but the flip side of that is, I still think you should go when you can go. Look at JT Toppin, the kid at Texas Tech, basketball player. He could have gone last year. Was he a first-round pick? I don't know, but he'd have been drafted. And, he got paid, and now he tore his ACL. Is he going to get drafted in June? I'm not sure, man. I think – and the problem is I think a lot of these kids they just look at, well, I can make $1 million next year, which is as much or more as I can make in the pros next year. Yeah, but what about the 3 years after that when you sign a rookie deal? You know, and I think that there aren't enough people advising these kids on what's 4 years down the road, as opposed. And don't get me wrong, man. 21 years old, somebody handed me $1 million check. I'd have signed it, no questions asked. So I get it, but there needs to be somebody telling these kids, you know what? You go to the pros. You're setting yourself up, man. You're a year closer to this second payday.
Gabe DeArman, if a living listener wants to read your stuff or interact with you, how do they do so? And I appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah, just go over to PowerMizzou.com, part of the 24/7 Sports Network, or at PowerMizzou.com on Twitter. And hey, I'm sure you guys have talked about it a ton, but we moved to 24/7 about a year and a half ago. I didn't get to know Wes Rucker well, but obviously we crossed paths here for a little bit, and just thoughts with everybody out in Knoxville that knows him, and what an awful thing that was last week to see.
Oh, buddy, man. Thank you for acknowledging that, and I hope you have a great day. Be blessed, brother.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Take care, Gabe.
Gabe DeArman, one more time. The outpouring from the community toward Wes Rucker's family has just been, I don't even know what to say. It's breathtaking because it's an unspeakable tragedy. It's horrendous.
It's really sad. I knew Wes, and I thought it brought me, it was kind of personal in a way, because thinking about his unborn child and a 4-year-old, my dad died when I was 2, so I never really knew him, and I heard stories about him from other people. He was a very popular guy, and I heard a lot of stories, but I didn't know him, and Wes's children won't have any memory of their dad. I mean, they will hear the stories. It's just really tragic. Just sickening.
Yeah, and when you've been through it, like in your life, because I was talking to somebody that you and I both know who lost a father when he was young, and he said, when you hear that, it jars you because it takes you back.
Sure.
And it's
and it's something you never get over it. Mm-mm. Even though I have no memory of being 2, I was impacted by that loss. Anybody that loses a loved one at that stage of life is going to be impacted.
All right, guys, let's take the quiz. We'll go around the room with Matt and John. We did this yesterday.
Thought you said we weren't doing that.
No, well, I said we're going to do Gabe, because we got Marky Mark and the Lunchy Bunch coming up, which is your Happy Time Hoops Hour featuring Mark Griffin.
By the way, JT Toppin, we were just discussing the Texas Tech All-American that's out with an ACL.
Yeah.
He was making $4 million with Texas Tech this year. He's a junior. He'll come back next year, rehab the knee, come back. They'll pay him. He'll probably be able to play next February.
Yeah. The only thing against those guys doing that, and it's the only thing, is you don't get that NBA service time toward the pension. But if you're a fringe guy like he is, and you're a one-contract guy, what's the point anyway? I stay in college. Like under today's system, Keon Johnson and Jaden Springer do not leave early like they did. They just don't.
No.
They don't. And now if you're a lottery pick, leave early, go have fun, have at it. Like Nate Ament, that's a no-brainer. You're going to be one of the top 10 picks. Here we go. Matt Dixon and John Adams. No Joey football. Your concern level for the 2026 season. 1 to 10 scale. 10's the highest. Matt, what's it do to you when you hear no Joey football?
It raises it from maybe a 4 or 5 to probably a 6 or 7.
Okay. John?
8.
Okay. Wow. Basketball team. That win at Vanderbilt. Do you find Tennessee now, because they could jump seed lines, they could get to a 3. That's what they've done here with that win. They've opened the door. They've got to probably win the rest of them, although David in Chattanooga did a great write-up today on the blog featuring all the teams that are involved with Tennessee, where they are on Ken Palm, their remaining schedules left. Now, it went to press last night, so there were a couple results in there for last night for a couple teams that Tennessee's kind of grouped in with. With the basketball team's win at Vanderbilt, the Vols are now an Elite 8 contender. 1 to 10 scale. 10 says they're going. Matt Dixon.
The Elite 8?
Yes. Do you find them an Elite 8 contender now?
I mean, they can certainly get there, but I mean, I'd put that at maybe a 3.
John?
I'd say a 4. Free throw shooting.
Baseball team is really concerning after 2 weekends of play. 1 to 10 scale. 10 is a 5-alarm fire. Matt Diskin, what do you say?
No, it's still like a 2 or a 3. It hadn't changed after the weekend, even though it was just a really bad weekend. Nothing changes going forward.
John?
I'd say about a 5. I think losing a home series to a MAC team is very unusual given the success of the program. So and the fact I was really surprised Tennessee didn't hit more against Kent State. MAC pitching. Maybe their first starter would be really tough. I've seen that with lower mid-major teams.
Yeah,
they'll have a lights-out one starter, but the fact Tennessee didn't score what it scored, 10 runs in 3 games against a MAC team, that would be concerning to me.
The LOB numbers are so high. They're just having trouble. And Matt wrote about this today. The situational hitting this weekend was atrocious for a team of Tennessee's level.
Yeah, I think the players on this team really like their coach.
Yeah.
Josh Elander, and it's his first year. I wonder if they might be guilty of trying too hard, pressing a little bit. I know it's early in the season. I know it's non-conference. But I think they understand the situation. Josh Elander's following the best baseball coach in Tennessee history. And
maybe the best baseball coach the SEC's ever seen. But he didn't get a chance to do it, but that might have been what it was.
Well, he may get
was
another
be the
chance
Nick Saban
later.
Deal.
He may get another chance later.
Matt, what was your biggest surprise from that weekend?
It would have to be the hitting and just the lack of, and we mentioned the situational stuff. Just the fielding, the defensive stuff is, especially early in the year, kind of expected from all teams. The hit batters where you're playing a team that just crowds the plate. But just the really poor hitting, and especially in key spots with guys on base, they were just some really bad swing decisions when they had advantage counts too. Have like 2 on with no outs and have like a 2-0 count, and then ground into a double play, or even a 3-0 count with runners on, and you have like an infield pop up, like just really bad situationally. So,
yeah, the Levi Clark thing is really puzzling to me because he comes out last year and starts like gangbusters. And then at this level, they're going to get tape on you. They're going to figure out your tendencies, and they're going to feed you till you adjust. And Matt, they cannot keep hitting that kid fourth till he finds himself, can they? He's borderline. He's like me up there. He has like no chance of competing right now.
No, he's really, really struggling. Can't catch up to fastballs, even these kind of low 90s, upper 80s fastballs that Kent State was throwing.
How do you figure that?
I hate it because I think he's got a really, really good approach at the plate, and got some crazy power. But yeah, he's just struggles catching up to fastballs, and as long as he keeps chasing sliders and things like that away, I mean, why throw him those?
John,
especially below the belt.
John, how do you figure that a kid that looked like that the first month of the season last year, where everybody's just laughing and we got this guy, and by the way, Georgia and LSU made a huge run at him in the offseason, and Georgia tried to get him back too. I mean, that's something Tony told me, but LSU went hard at him. So obviously it's in there somewhere, or those programs aren't fooling around with it, even with the way he kind of fell off the table last year. But, man, he looks lost in space right now.
Well, that's kind of the nature of this game.
Yep.
You see a guy, he, as you said, started out like gangbusters as a freshman, hitting non-conference pitching very well. But, and of course, the major leagues is the greatest example of that. But at any level of baseball, anytime you get a scouting report on a guy and you spot a weakness in his swing, a pitch he struggles with, that's all he's going to see. And so it's up to the hitter to adjust. I remember talking to Todd Helton about adjustments in his career when he was announced he was in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He talked about having trouble with the changeup initially. And Todd, of course, he was a tremendous work ethic. He got in that batting cage and he worked and worked and worked until that was no longer a weakness. But you can't ignore it, and you can't think, well, this will go away. It's just a bad. If you're having a problem with a pitch, you've got to focus on that and you got to attack it.
We're all human. And we all go through peaks and valleys and ruts, and that's in a day-to-day thing. And it is so hard when you're playing one of those sports that they call like a failure sport, whether you're pitching, or hitting, or fielding, and something gets in the back of your mind. I watch a lot of like musicians online, and there's this guy named Shane Terrio who's from your neck of the woods, one of those great Cajun kids.
Terrio, it's a good Louisiana name.
Yeah, and he's a really cool guy, but he's very honest. He's a very accomplished musician, played with a ton of acts, and he's a great player. But he has a great spirit about him because he's sort of an open door. He said, hey, look, a few years ago, I started losing my ability to articulate with that instrument in my hand. In other words, I'm a professional, and I went to hit a note, and I would slip, or I was not doing what I wanted to do. He said, so I called a guy, it's a great teacher in New York. And the guy said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to play these scales. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, da. You're going to play those as slow as you can. He said he broke me down to the slowest possible low. He said it was humiliating. He said, but I had to go back and rebuild myself just mentally to get back to a spot where I felt comfortable doing it. And I just think it's an interesting thing when you think about somebody that spends thousands of hours with an instrument that can kind of lose it. And then then it gets in your head, which is what he said. He said, then I'm on stage and all of a sudden I'm going, am I going to be able to execute this? Am I not going to be able to execute it? And I'm thinking about poor Levi Clark Saturday when I'm watching him, and he looks like he wants to be anywhere else but in that batter's box, Matt, when he's batting fourth. There's traffic on base. I just feel sorry for the kid. That's a tough spot, man.
Hitting a baseball is really difficult. I think other than playing NFL quarterback, it's the hardest thing to do in sports.
Let's move along. Something else that's kind of mental.
Oh,
right?
we were doing a quiz, weren't we?
Yeah.
Are we done with the quiz?
Lady Vol Hoops under Kim Caldwell. Kim Caldwell is in deep doo-doo. 1 to 10 scale. John, 10 is she's cooked.
I'd say about 5 or 6.
Wow. That's a higher number than I thought you'd give it. Somebody that follows that sport.
Well,
why do you say that?
Just knowing this fan base as I do and knowing what's expected. I mean, this is an iconic program. And
they're not into patience with that program.
No, they're not. I mean, it doesn't matter that she had 2 coaches before her, Holly Warlick and Kelly Harper. She had 2 coaches in between. Whoever comes still is following Pat Summitt because she was here for so long, and that's where the fan base was built. And so when you look at what Kim came in with, a very extreme system. And right now, it's not working. I see it as transitional because this year she was able to go out and got some talented players. Talented players aren't as apt to be enamored with this system as players who rely more on effort, hustle, and that kind of thing. She inherited those kind of players. And so she had a great first year. She was competitive against the best teams in the country, beat the eventual national title.
With the lunch pail kids that got into shape.
Yes.
And
they just worked so hard. They
got this kid from UCLA. They got this other kid from over here. They spent a lot of money in the portal, obviously.
Yes. But see,
the Pow kids from Philly, Aldos.
I think the talented players, they're used to being on the floor more. They're used to, and playing full court defense wears them out. And they don't want to be tired when they're putting up a jump shot. They don't want to have tired legs. So Caldwell is adjusting. She's not making it. She's not announcing it to the world. But she's got her some starting players now playing in the 30s in terms of minutes. She's not pressing as much as she once did. They've been more selective in their three-pointers recently. And this is what she's got to do. She's never been in this situation where she's had really talented players. Talasia Cooper is a top player. I mean, she's one of the best players in the SEC. Very talented. Can do pretty much everything. Her effort wavers sometimes, but in terms of talent,
she's like when we're watching. Laura goes, the skill. She goes, that's like a native Ment kind of skill level. This in her sport.
She's very talented.
Like the skill level is just for that sport. It's just off. She can put it on the floor. She can go around you, and then she does things. She does things on defense where she just doesn't care. Like she just kind of let you go by her.
Well, and you know, you've former Lady Vol player Andrea Carter, who's now
we played it yesterday.
Oh, you played it? Okay.
What do you make of? Because Candace Parker said you should keep it all in house. You never say that stuff publicly when you're one of us, and it always stays in house. There's no place for that. Basically, called her disloyal, essentially. But Candace Parker's with the Adidas brand that they're getting ready to pick up. Candace Parker was involved in getting this $1 million player they got next year. That's a
no doubt about it.
That's a not guarded secret at all.
No, but
so she's got skin in the game. But what do you make of her comments?
I thought Andrea Carter's comments are. It was kind of like she's a national broadcaster.
Yes,
now. She's very good at her job.
She's excellent.
And so but I thought she came across in the diatribe. She came across more as a Lady Vol, like a frustrated fan. This isn't working, I'm mad. Instead of as a professional broadcaster, which she is, and she's good at her job.
Now that's interesting.
I think you should be in her position. I get tired of these announcers favoring their team. Like former players, they always talk about, they care about their team. But when you're in a role and you're covering a national tournament, you shouldn't be giving your alma mater any more credit or discredit than you would any team. So I think it's fair for her to comment, but I thought it came across as more like frustrated with the way the team was performing, and as a member of the program. There's a real deep allegiance to this program by former players. I talked to some former players. They aren't enthralled with this system and what's going on. Keep in mind, a bad year for the Lady Vols is still perceived as making it no further than the Sweet 16.
Well, how about this? People were reminding me, and we're celebrating the fact yesterday, which is kind of interesting. And I got an impassioned email from a guy I'm going to run tomorrow who said, hey, ease up on this coach. They were 1 second away from the Elite Eight last year, or one shot away, or they were so close to going to the Elite Eight and lost a game in the Sweet 16. I'm sitting there going, boy, how the once mighty have fallen when that's...
I know, but...
When you go to the Sweet 16 and get beaten close... But it was her first year. Here's the thing about it. She did a great job with her own with the first-year players. She brings in her own, and they literally are borderline. And the only reason I'm watching it is because it's kind of a train wreck. And I admitted on the air, I said after she called her team out, I will watch every second from here on out of these games that are competitive because it's very combustible. From a talk radio perspective, and I had no idea that we're going to have Lady Vol and Lady Vol crime like we've had here, but that makes it a little more interesting because we had a discussion yesterday. There are a lot of football players that will go, or basketball players, that will get on the radio but won't really say what they think. Andrea Carter got right in that microphone and said exactly
what
she was pissed when she said it, too. She was like, look, you play this system. I don't care who you put on the floor. You're shooting these ridiculous 3 balls. You're going to give up tons of rebounds. It's going to be a layup drill at the other end of the floor. Keep playing this way, and you're going to keep winning 16 games. And she meant it, too, when she said it.
Well, we've talked about this before, but what Caldwell is doing is the system she plays is really good for a different type program.
Yep.
And it's good when you have lesser talent, as Tennessee had last season.
Which is why you asked her that question. You've been kind of vindicated. It's why you asked her that question.
Well,
no, it's not about you. I know.
Okay.
But you've been vindicated.
Well, but I think so now she's got to adjust.
And she is adjusting.
She is adjusting.
Yeah.
So that's why I think next season will be more telling. What she has to do is think about how important is it to me to play this system? If I've got to prove that this system works at this level,
go back to Marshall. That's what you need to do, really. If you're going to go play that system, because you can't play that way, unless you start recruiting a different type of player and you just go for lunch pail kids that will take the line changes and
the thing is with those kind of players, so you can make the Sweet 16 with those kind of players, but that's just not good enough with Tennessee. And the other factor is she's had an opportunity to get better players, to get elite players because of Tennessee's NIL foundation. They've got a lot of money to play with.
Who isn't going to take them? Like somebody told me, hey, there's some high-risk kids on our team. Okay. Who's not going to take high-risk kids? Everybody's going to take high-risk kids.
Yeah, it depends.
Except Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes isn't going to do it.
Well, it depends on how many you take. And it also depends on how strong a coach you are, how strong your personality is.
But she's just a kid. That's tough.
Well,
when you're Rick Barnes, you can look at somebody and go, hey,
well, Rick Barnes, Rick Barnes has coached he coached Kevin Durant.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, he's got credibility. He can say that's not how we do it. And you're going to listen to him.
It's a real interesting thing to think about and to consider. And Matt, that thing about former players calling out their team, that just doesn't happen, man, in any sport. It's a unique thing to, and that's why I talked about it yesterday, not only from that perspective of what's going on here locally, but just around the sport itself. Very seldom do you see somebody speak that passionately about you never see Kirk Herbstreit go in on Ohio State football, ever. You never see the guy at Michigan that's up there, who I like. He's a big like record collector, and Desmond Howard. He's kind of a cool dude, but you never see him do those sorts of things. That was very unique, Matt, and I think a good thing. By the way, I don't have a problem with it. Do you, Matt?
No, I mean I think it goes on more than we're giving it credit for, but not on that kind of platform on national TV. I just think it's pretty obvious that she just got a wrong roster that just doesn't fit what she wants to do.
Yep.
And maybe I do think there might be some internal kind of culture problems within the locker room. It seems like with all the stuff that happens off the court.
That's exactly
that we've
right.
heard about.
Oh.
But it's just a roster that doesn't work, and they're going to try to figure out. We'll see how it ends, but it's just crazy to me. I think there's so many parallels between the Lady Vols right now and Kentucky's men's team, with the second-year coaches who were really good in year one with kind of a makeshift roster, but then they just put a ton of money into their year two team, and get a bunch of players that don't fit, and it just doesn't work. It's kind of interesting. I think there's just so many parallels there.
Well, that's a good point. And you look at coaches, they have to think about, do they want to get the best players they can?
Yep.
Or do they want to get the best players for their system?
I'll tell you this, because Mark Pope had his hot mic moment over the weekend after that game, and I think he did it on purpose.
What did he say?
He said, don't let them find me. Matt, the exact quote was what? Because the officiating, it was in the midst of a call that happened against Kentucky that never goes against them on the road at Auburn. And I mean never. That's never called against Kentucky basketball. A shove, a push-off. And really, it was
I saw that.
How Auburn won the game. That's never called against Kentucky. It's never been called against Kentucky. It doesn't happen. It won't happen. It shouldn't have happened. But I want to bring Marky Mark in on the other side. The Lunchy Bunch will commence. It's Marky Mark and the Lunchy Bunch. The Mark Griffin Happy Time Hoops Hour. Hoops Time Happy Hour. John Adams is presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. She of Keller Williams, she's absolutely, without a doubt, completely 100% next level. And we'll come back on the other side right after this.
5.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your front walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meat. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there, Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. TB back with you, 865-200-5402. It's unbelievable, Andy. As we welcome you back, it is the Happy Time Hoops Hour, ladies and gentlemen. The great Mark Griffin's in the house. We are fired up. We're focused. We're prepared for him. We might do a little overtime today. I don't know. But we have a lot to talk about because it's Tennessee, Missouri. We have Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime tonight. And we have very little time to get there. So as we bring you in here and begin our second hour with our Happy Time Hoops Hour, a.k.a. Marky Mark and the Lunchy Bunch. Hey, Mark, you were on the scene for the Vanderbilt game over the weekend. Matt Dixon post-game show, and I was on with Matt and Maury Hanks. Tonight it'll be Matt, myself, and Brian Hartman post-game. But Griff, Matt declared might have been Tennessee's best or second best win of the year. That was a heck of a basketball game that we were treated to in Memorial Gymnasium on Saturday, Mark.
Oh, for both sides. I mean, did I ever feel at any point the last 5 minutes that Tennessee was going to secure that victory? Not at all. Not till the very end, which I'm sure y'all have talked about ad nauseum. But, I mean, I was so impressed with Bishop Boswell and the confidence that he exuded on the court at the end, and some of the plays that occurred that may not have been discussed to assist Ament's big shot. Of course, everybody's focusing on the big shot. But, I know we may get into this a little bit about chemistry, but the guys that were on the court really stuck it out. Gillespie didn't make that bonehead end of game turnover, to get Vanderbilt right back in it. Ty Tanner, which I'm a little surprised he wasn't more aggressive at the end, taking more shots. But just every possession was a battle. And I just kept saying the whole time, get a stop, get a stop, get a stop. And you could just feel the crowd as well saying, get a stop, get a stop. Every possession. I think Tennessee went down by 7 was the largest margin that I recall. Lots of fantastic Tennessee fans in attendance. A lot of Vanderbilt supporters upset that happened, but that's going to happen. I was even surprised there were that many. I thought maybe 20, 25%, but it had to be 35% or so.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. The section I was in was more Tennessee fans than Vandy, and I was on the second level. I wasn't behind the basket where you have most of the people that have the allotment available. Loud. I know, you mentioned off the air about, refereeing and stuff. I didn't weigh into that as much. I mean, Amen's getting banged, but you know what? He's causing that. And that's the great thing that you're seeing about his growth is that he is jumping into players, causing contact, and yet still getting his shot off because he's at an upward trajectory. And what I talked about earlier in the show, earlier episodes, was he was jumping into guys with a downward trajectory, and that's why they were blocking his shot and wasn't getting to the free throw line. Well, obviously, he's been really working on that. Is he going to get banged? Yes, he's going to continue. That is the way. Coach Barnes even said that. John, you were there. He said, if I was opposing team, I'd bang him too. That's just going to happen. But I think he's able to play through that. He's faced everything he needs to face moving forward. So it was just a great win. And it was just shocking to me because I really didn't think they would win, Tony, at this game. Now, I was hoping for progress, see some improvement in certain things, but Vandy is so good at home. And it just says a lot for the preparation. It says a lot for the tenacity and the team to stick together.
Mark, you said you were with the Tennessee contingent. And by the way, that move, that the way Amen is going into defenders and then making his shot, that kind of reminded me of you years ago, even out on the perimeter. You would go into the defender and then launch your shot. When you were there amongst the fans, you were just with Tennessee fans? Or, I mean, I was wondering if there was much interaction or hostility between the two fan bases.
Where I was sitting, John, I was upper level, like right corner facing the basket. Pretty good mix, but it was majority Tennessee fans. And it was funny. I kept hearing several obnoxious Tennessee fans yelling more than I did any concerns between Vanderbilt and Tennessee fans. The Vanderbilt fans, to me, were fantastic. I mean,
I love it.
They weren't rude as let's say Tennessee fans were, but some of these Tennessee fans in particular definitely got their money's worth because they were shouting so loudly, and I loved it. I was just glad I wasn't sitting right next to this one couple. But you know what? That's part of it. A lot of passion. I even made a comment during the game. I'm like, you know what? This may be this couple's only time ever to see Tennessee this year because of the Danny White tariff. So let's take advantage of it and let them enjoy.
And Griff, ladies and gentlemen, getting off as Danny White catches his first stray of the Happy Time Hoops Hour. Griff, some people were commenting in our chat even today when I talked about how I love the way Saturday's game was officiated. I'm going to let the players decide things, Guy. Obviously, it affected his shooting. He was 3 of 13 from the field. He just kind of wasn't himself. Were they allowing too much rough stuff to go, Griff, or in your mind, is that a properly officiated college basketball game?
You know, it's funny. When you mentioned it earlier, I never even thought about it being so rough. Yes, I mean, if you're going to key in on Amen, I just think if you look at each of his shots, And as John mentioned even earlier, how many of them were contact shots, him jumping into someone versus a hand being placed on his elbow or arm or anything like that? It didn't even come to play like, oh, man, we're getting a bad call. Vanderbilt at the end of the game, Cherokee, McLaughlin, both had 4 fouls with at least 5 minutes left in the game. We had Akpara, got his 4th late in the game, but it's not like you had 4 guys with 4 fouls. Letting them play, fine. Let them play. The guys would rather play than have a close call. Let it be physical. And Vanderbilt's a physical team, but Tennessee's more physical. I mean, that's one of their strengths is how physical they are inside. And we didn't even have Estrella.
No, and that's why the win's so impressive, because there's no Estrella. And Brian Hartman, you wanted to make a point about the last several games, which I think bears repeating.
Yeah, the last 4 games since the Kentucky loss, they've learned how to close them out. They were only up 5 against Mississippi State on the road after State made that incredible 18-0 run, but they outscored them, I think, 10-6 down the stretch to win by 9. And then at LSU, they were down 3 points with about 12 minutes to go and closed them out with a 30-17 run before Oklahoma comes in, who only trailed by 6 because Pack was making every shot literally in sight with 6:18 left. And then they went on a 21-4 run to make that look like a complete blowout, although the game was a lot closer than the 89-66 final score suggested. And then against Vandy, they trailed 63-60 with 2.5 left and finished on a 9-2 spurt to close out the Commodores. So they're learning how to finish games late coming into March, which is a very good sign, I think.
And Mark, for a couple games in a row, they've had the freshmen on the floor late. They've had Brown and Evans out there as they've closed these games out. What's the significance of that as they've closed these games?
Well, obviously Barnes and staff has settled on a rotation, and the more playing time these guys get, the more confidence that they get. And like Brian mentioned, well, great memory, Brian, but these guys have a great memory. You try to have a short-term memory in basketball like you do pretty much in all sports, but when things are going well, you try to hang on to the past because you hope that continues in the future with the same effort. There's some guys that have just are not playing now, which is interesting. You look at Abram; he's not sniffing the court.
No.
And my boy Iceberg, who's definitely not freezing as much on the court, so I'm gonna have to give him a new nickname. He's really stepped it up as well, and I'm really excited about him because the couple times I saw him practice when he came over from Israel, he was playing so well, and then when he got on the court, he would just freeze. And that's another option for Barnes to bring in if you have any of your wing players get into foul trouble. We haven't seen as much of Henderson, and I don't think we will. With Berg's emergence and his physicality, he's just a lot bigger and stronger.
That's why they got him
than Henderson.
Yep.
No knock on Henderson at all. No knock on Abram. I mean, these kids. One thing I loved watching Abram when I was at the Oklahoma game. Berg had a really bad turnover, and of course Barnes took him out. And I'm right next to the bench, fortunately, and Abram had his arm around Berg, encouraging him. And I thought, this is the greatest thing to see, because even if he's not playing, he's encouraging his teammates. Yep. He wasn't in front of the camera. Coaching staff didn't see it. And that's huge. And I think that's what can really carry a team, because I know, guys, I played on teams where I'm like, man, if this guy just turned the ball over, maybe I'll get a shot, because it's all about me getting on the floor. And yes, we want to win, but you want to be on the court to win. And when you're not on the court, you're pissed.
I love seeing
these guys are upset, but they're encouraging each other.
That's honesty right there, because it's competitive. And competition breeds, and if your culture's good, you won't get the backbiting over the minutes because you really want to win at the end of the day. Speaking of which, Barnes just appeared on John Rothstein's podcast, And he said the following. Rothstein asked him, what's the best win of your entire career? What would you say, Rick Barnes? Well, how would you say he answered that, John? What would you think? Best win of his entire career. You ready for what he said? You ready, Vol fan?
He said his first one.
He said it hasn't happened yet. My best win has not happened yet. He also said, I'll tell you this freshman class we've signed is the best one we've signed since I've been here. Now, for people wanting to push Barnesy out the door, I don't see the man. Doesn't sound to me like he's going to doing the retirement tour talk right now. Matt, what do you make of those two answers to John Rothstein? TGMD.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. I kind of interesting. Obviously feeling pretty good, and feeling good about his team right now. So that's really cool to hear.
John, what do you say to that? He's not doing the retirement tour thing right now.
But I really didn't think he was doing the retirement tour thing. I mean, some fans bring that up, and
him talking about that freshman class like that though, and my best win of my career hasn't happened yet, tells me this is a man who's approaching this with a lot of gas in his gas tank in this era. This thing has totally changed out from under him, and they've somehow figured out a way to manage a pretty highly priced payroll. They've introduced this guy who's slowly become their team leader, and I don't see any issues with it. Do you detect that at all on the floor?
No, and I think
that's tricky.
I think Rick Barnes is probably encouraged by the fact that he has NIL support in this era. Tennessee's done a nice job of adding transfers. Not Nate Amin, of course, is a freshman. He's an unusual example. I'm a little surprised that he's that high on the freshman class. I would expect, we talked about this before, how they pinpoint future transfers in the portal before they're ever in the portal and looking ahead to next season.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good sign for Tennessee basketball because you assume Nate Ament will move on to the pros.
Yeah.
But if he's got that good a foundation with younger players, and then he can supplement it with transfers, then Tennessee, I guess, will keep winning.
Mark Griffin, you of the impresario here of the Happy Time Hoops Hour, are you surprised to hear him talk like that? And what about the way they've been able to acclimate this wonderful freshman into now he's the leader of the basketball team? It's just very interesting to watch this.
Well, I'm not surprised to hear Coach speak, and I call it Coach speak because he's just still looking into the future, and as coaching staff, you want to look into the future and know that bright things are ahead and keep it optimistic publicly, and then at the same time during practice, he's just breaking these guys down, and it's a whole different talk, I guarantee you, to the players. Not that he's lambasting them, but you've got to keep them sharp, and you can't let them rest. One of the things that is concerning when you see the improvement in a team is at what level will they continue? Will they take the brakes off? Missouri could be a trap game. I'm really concerned about this game tonight, guys. I really am. Can they win this game? Yes. Could they lose this game? Oh, yes, because of how much it means to Missouri, which I know we'll get into. But, it's very promising to see what they've got going on over there. And I'm sure the sales of the program guides are going up, and they've got the Danny White tax on that because they're going to need to, because every year you're going to have so many different players coming in for one season. You'll get to know them, and then off they'll go. They're going to lose Gillespie. You're going to lose Ament. You're going to lose Akpara. Who else will depart? Who will come in? It'll be interesting. It'll be fun, and we'll cheer who's wearing the orange and white, and it'll be nice to see Barnes on the sideline with them.
Mark, you talk about coach speak, but in this case, to me, Rick Barnes would be going above and beyond. He doesn't have to be that complimentary. He could say something more general, a little more vague about, I think we've got some promising young players on this team. But to say what he did, that's kind of above the usual coach speak.
They love the guy. They love the guy from Pittsburgh. They're freaked out that this Brown guy is as good as he is, as early as he is. You're starting to see them introduce the other guard as the year goes along. He's on the floor at the end of games now. 2 true freshmen, along with Ament, three freshmen. Of course, one will be gone next year, but that's pretty significant. And as Brian said, they're all of a sudden learning how to close games. The other thing that they've learned how to do, Griff, that I want to get into on the other side, as well as this Missouri game. Well, let's talk about this. Mark, the belief is that defensively they've kind of taken a next step, and they're pointing to the fact that Okpara is become more attentive to detail, as well as Gillespie on the defensive end. Lay it on me.
Well, when Okpara was recruited, he wasn't recruited to be a scorer. I followed him at Ohio State. I saw him play at EAB when he was in high school. He was always a presence inside to alter shots and block shots. And then he has this, 2-foot jump hook. And then we'll get, a few lobs from Gillespie or, Bishop Boswell. And that was sufficient for his role as a team. I think people were expecting Okpara to be a 12-point scorer per game. It's not needed. It's really not. He is one of the defensive stoppers for this program. His length is incredible, adds a lot. And what was neat watching Gillespie up close last week is I love watching how he stays in a stance. And you can tell he's really been working on that with the staff. And what I mean by stance is he's not standing straight up when you're turning players, trying to make them rotate from left to right. A lot of guys will lift up. They get a little tired, so they stand up. He'll what's called stay in a stance, mean stay low to the ground, active arms. And when you watch him tonight, I think people should definitely look for that and see how low he plays to the ground with his arms moving, because that really frustrates an opposing guard. If you For example, if you can get a guard to stand up while you're going left to right, that's when you blow by, because they're not at a low enough level that they can pivot quick enough, and you get a competitive advantage. But Gillespie's done a great job of improvement of what we call staying in a stance, which has been really exciting to see.
Buffalo stance, if you will, Griff. Nana Cherry.
Excuse me?
I give you half a chance. You're in a Buffalo stance. Do you guys not remember that?
Never heard of it.
Griff remembers it.
Lady sang it. I forgot her name. But.
Yeah, Nana Cherry. Maybe we'll get Nana Cherry. Maybe we'll get Titans Bill on here at some point to sing it.
What is that Laurie just gave you?
Cough medicine, Robitussin.
What's wrong?
I have some congestion.
I hope it's not. Is it contagious?
Heck no. It's this time of the year, man.
One thing that's consistent about Tony is there's an ailment.
As we continue with more, Hour 2 continues. The Happy Time Hoops Hour, we preview Missouri after this. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Kenexial Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Kenexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the /1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Kenexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Kenexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well, players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest, finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
T to B back with you, 865-200-5402. Pretty pumped to be back with you. We're Happy Time Hoops Hour in it with the great Mark Griffin. Griff, this matchup tonight, you called earlier kind of a little, you're troubled potentially by this game. Talk to me here.
Yeah, I am, Tony. I mean, as they say, every game is the biggest game, and I'm not saying it's a trap game. I don't know what a trap game really is, but it's just matchup-wise. One of the most, I think, underappreciated players in the SEC is Mark Mitchell, 6'9" transfer, former high school All-American, McDonald's All-American. He came from Duke 2 seasons ago. Just a bruiser, 6'9" lefty. It's just a matchup concern. And I mentioned off the air that I'm pretty sure they'll put Ament on him. And this is probably the first time I'm concerned with him getting in foul trouble, because I think they're going to attack Ament every time. Not to say that he's not a sound defensive player, but he can. I don't think he's a great matchup with Mark Mitchell, and he's going to have a lot of help. They're going to have to not allow Mitchell to get those drives into the basket. And this is the biggest team Tennessee's faced this year. I'm not saying it's the best team, but as far as length, they're the biggest team. I mean, they're a big kid, Pierce, 6'10". You got Jacob Cruz, a great three-point shooter, 6'8". Who's going to guard him? Shortest guy on the team's Anthony Robinson. He's 6'3". Jaden Stone's been playing for about 10 years. He's from Perth, Australia.
Great line.
He's 6'4". And then they've got a big kid off the bench, a 7 foot. The Phillips kid, the Porter kid, 6'11". They've got a kid 7'4", doesn't play. So Gates just went long, but on the other end of that, it's like how Tennessee does match up better than a lot of teams because of their height and length. But you take away Estrella, it's a concern.
Well, and you know what's funny about the Tennessee team? Matt, does this track with what we're seeing? Nashville Lee just sent me this. Ament's 5 highest rim rate games this season have been his last 5 games, which is indicative of a guy that's going to the hole more, and he's been getting to the foul line a lot more because of it. Does that track, Matt, with what we're seeing? That stat?
Yeah. He's not been shooting a ton of threes. Really, only threes are kind of kick out, so he's not kind of settling for those. But yeah, he's being aggressive and attacking the rim, getting to the foul line. That's what's working, and he's been knocking down his free throws, which has been key. So, Griff brought something interesting. Why don't more teams attack Ament on the defensive end, either because he's a liability or or just to try to get him in foul trouble, because he's never been in foul trouble. Really, I can't think of a game this year.
Great point.
Like I wonder why opposing teams aren't trying to do that.
And I don't have an answer other than my biggest concern of the season's tonight. Because if he's guarding Mark Mitchell, that's his game. You will see it. He will drive. He hardly shoots any three-point shots. He's not a three-point shooter, but he will drive to the basket. He will offensively rebound, and you're going to have to get a body on him. It really does start, and I think stops with Mitchell. Now, they've got other good players, and I mentioned Jaden Stone earlier, started off at Grand Canyon with Bryce Drew, transferred to a second school, and now he's at Missouri. He's been playing since 2020, but he's had a really, really good year. And I coached against him in high school, travel ball, and I've seen some great improvement from him. A good role that he's playing for Coach Gates. And they've got some really good players. One thing that does help Tennessee on this, it'll be interesting if Barnes takes advantage of this, is you're going to have some fast break opportunities, because when you've got so many big guys, it's if you get the rebound at the rate that Tennessee does, and you get it in Gillespie's hands, and off you go, take advantage of the numbers, that could really work in Tennessee's advantage. One thing that we talked about off air was, Missouri's 14-2 at home, and at first look you'd go, man, that's incredible. But their latest loss right before the surprising Vanderbilt win at home by 1, they lost to Texas by 20, and then they lost to Georgia earlier in the conference by 2. They've had a lot of close games. I even looked this up. They've had 6 SEC wins by a total of 14 points. They've had 5 of their 6 losses were 8 points or less. So what that tells me is Missouri has a lot of experience playing in close games either way. So it's not a surprise for them when it gets to crunch time. Now, one of the advantages that really helps Tennessee, I know you guys will appreciate this, because I'm a stats guy, but you have to bring the stats to life. UT's shooting 69% from the free throw line. There's a team worse, and it's Missouri. They're 68%. They're 317th in the country. There's only like 50 teams worse in the country, which really helps Tennessee if there is that close game at the end. They've got several guys that you could foul. One guy in particular shooting under 50% from the free throw line. That's really going to help Tennessee, and they've all scouted this and know going into the game these scenarios that could come out to play to be prepared for.
The gate zone will be interesting too tonight, guys. That's something you don't see all the time, and Ament's going to get some soft spots to shoot that mid-range shot that he's almost a patented shot at this point, if they can exploit the zone properly, Griff.
Oh, that's true. And if you know anything about zone, how to break a zone, you get the ball in the middle.
Yep.
Tennessee's done a fantastic job with that, because you've got one of 2 bigs that slide into that the free throw line extended, they call it, the free throw line, and then you have your other big on the block. So if you can get the ball to the middle, the open area, the first look is to the basket. And if you don't take the 15-foot shot or 2 dribbles to the basket, you've got a big man down low that can slide in to get position to receive the ball as well. So there's some good strengths there, because I think the Tennessee bigs, one thing we haven't talked about, I've always felt they've been a really good passing team from bigs to the perimeter and or inside, especially Brown. I actually think he's their best big guy passer, which is underrated.
It's interesting.
But you're going to have a lot of options there. They're going to miss Estrella, yes.
Yep.
But they missed him already and did fine in Nashville, and they'll just continue that rotation.
He's questionable, they say, for tonight.
They're going to miss Estrella. The thing about this team is we're watching different guys grow in different roles. Matt, you make a really good point about Ament defensively. It could be that his length at this level and his ability to get off the floor, we've seen him block some shots, come over and block some shots. It might be that he's an underrated defender, Matt, and it might be that he just knows how to function on the floor. Now, Mark, I'll be surprised if they let Mitchell be guarded by Ament. Now, maybe Missouri will try to get Tennessee in that matchup as they can off switches and whatnot, Maury Hanks. But I don't think that'll be his primary defender. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but then again, I don't know who's going to check him if it's not him. But it's interesting.
You may be right. You may be right. But if I'm Missouri, I'm making sure that I'm running two-man game where the guy that whoever Ament is guarding, you have him at the top of the key, and you run what's called the two-man game. You run a screen where the players have to switch because Tennessee switches 1 to 5. Then you get that matchup. It's what NBA does every night. They get switches to get mismatches. And I just feel, and I don't know Gates well at all, but I feel for Missouri's sake to have any type of advantage with the way that Mitchell plays is he's so physical that I think he would really try to attack Ament. But you're right, Ament's done a good job staying out of foul trouble. And I'm not saying tip off he comes out guarding Mitchell. I don't see that either, but I think that when you get into the game, you're going to see these screens to get those matchups.
And basically, like, I'm having a conversation with C right now, and he, in his mind, he says Ament's been guarding smaller guys this year, to Matt's point, and they've sort of let smaller guys every once in a while will go around him, but with his length, he's able to still affect shots, and he's been able to stay out of foul trouble that way. He's had a couple blocks from behind, which have keyed runs here recently. If you think about some of the recent games, his guess tonight is they're going to go with a trio of Boswell. He thinks this is a game that Evans is going to play a bunch in because of Mitchell. Boswell, Evans, and maybe even a little bit of Brown on Mitchell and bang him around a little bit. Boswell is like a human pincushion out there, Mark. Look, I was wrong about him. I didn't think he could function at this level. He's made a liar out of me. He's been very good this year at what he's doing. And what he's doing is he goes out and just sacrifices. I mean, nobody plays harder than him, John. Who plays harder than a Boswell guy?
No, he plays a really good defense.
Yeah.
Great perimeter defense. But what I really elevated my opinion of him in that Vanderbilt game.
Huh?
Down the stretch in the last 2 minutes, he made 2 really tough contested shots. And the fact that he had the confidence to take those shots told me something, let alone that he made both of them because he very closely defended, one in the lane. So I thought that was significant. He's really turning into something.
Mark, isn't that a wonderful point? Because you started today, and that was the first thing out of your mouth was giving him his flowers.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I thought it was the key because if you're Vanderbilt and Byington in the huddle, and everyone knows this that follows SEC basketball. I mean, there's 2 guys from Tennessee you're going to say, we've got to contain. You're not going to stop them, but you've got to contain them. And the first one, obviously, is Gillespie because you can say, hey, we're going to double him when he gets the ball, make him get rid of it.
Yep.
So I'm not saying he's the first option, but he's going to be the one with the ball. So he's point A that you're going to try to get the ball out of his hands. Second is, where is Ament? Let's get this hand check. Let's try to make sure he doesn't get the ball in a 10 to 15 feet position where he can go to work. So what does that leave? It left Boswell open, and Boswell did not hesitate. He had the confidence to take those shots. And guys, in a situation where there's such a close game, role players, and I'm still calling them, they're all role players, but he especially is a role player. You're going to sit there and go, let me get the ball to Nate, let me get the ball to Jacoby, because they're the ones that are our scorers. They're scorers 1 and 2. but he was able to take that on himself, saw that he had the advantage to go to the basket, and he didn't hesitate. And that was the best part. He didn't hesitate and think. Because when you think, you're done.
Well, and you're right. And to John's point, there wasn't a whole lot of thought out there. I'm not sure those shots early in the season, John, Boswell would have taken. In fact, I would venture to guess he would not have taken those shots earlier in the year.
No, it's we've talked about this all year. I mean, that seemed, even before the season, we talked about Tennessee needs another shooting guard. That was a shortcoming this team would have, and it's come up again and again. But but if you've got somebody that can make those kind of tough plays, that he had enough confidence to do it in that situation, and then I think he should be even more confident after that. It doesn't mean he'll become Tennessee's leading scorer, but he gives Tennessee another option, and I think that's so important to find other options as you head into March and postseason play.
Yes. Griff, anything else you want to add on tonight's game before we start looking at seed and competition for seed?
No, that's it. I mean, we'll hope to drink our coffee and stay up late at night because it's going to be a late night game. And I hate the 9 o'clock games, guys. I really do. It's just for me. I don't stay up till 11 normally, but I will tonight.
No, and Brian, you got a little news today from Kentucky land. Lay it on me here because I want to get into this for a few seconds because we talk about the league at large, and one of the places you got to look when you talk about the league at large is right to the north of us because aside from beating us a couple of times, I'm not sure what Kentucky's done well this year. Now, we've kind of made their season almost tolerable for them, Matt, which is very painful because we've had a great SEC season so far, Matt, a great season. But we let that damn mid-Kentucky team somehow, we lost double-digit leads to them twice, Matt. Twice. When Stephen F.M. Pearl got some of it Saturday night. And he was on like a 5-game losing streak. What are we doing?
Please keep bringing that up, Tom. Let's keep reminding us.
Well, I mean, it's sickening.
Games. I mean, they beat St. John's. They had to come back against Patino, and then they won at Arkansas. So
yes.
They've gotten up for their big games against former coaches and big rivals. But
yes. And by the way,
Mikey White at home.
Vandy Dandy has now been put in 24-hour timeout over on our YouTube channel, and his violation, according to me today, was making a human hemorrhoid of himself. These people that want to go on these chat boards and just, throw up all over, hey, Vandy Dandy, or whatever your name is, we get it. And today you got it. Brian, share with the living listener what we're talking about here with Kentucky.
Mark Polk was fined $25,000 for comments he made after the Auburn loss.
Mark Griffin, in your lifetime, has a foul like that ever been called against Kentucky at that stage of a basketball game?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No. Not happening.
No. He's not regal at all. Kentucky may still be regal, but he's not.
Is that what that is, Mark? They don't respect Bambi over there?
Don't respect who?
Bambi.
Bambi?
And their coach.
That's what you call.
Pope looks like Bambi over there, yeah.
Oh. There's so much going on over there. It'll take a whole show.
What do you make of their deal? Is that a thing where they went grocery shopping and what you bought at the store, you're just a few ingredients short, or is it more than that?
I think they've got, well, I'm not a cook, but to me, it's like you got a lot of ingredients, but you don't know what you're tasting because it's just not coming out the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a recipe gone wrong. All the ingredients, it doesn't taste good, and it's interesting because the players got paid, but they're not buying in, and people still throw out that how much money they spend on NIL, and we can't even confirm what it is. And that's one of my biggest beefs. I wish it was public on how much each team or each university spends on a player. Why is it not public? It's not HIPAA. It's not a health thing. Why isn't that public? I don't know. That's one of my biggest beefs. If I was Jay Billis, I would have that all over social media.
John, at these public universities,
it would be nice. I know I'm digressing, but it'd be nice to know, like when you're playing Missouri and their NIL's $4 million, playing Kentucky it's $22 million, and then you're sitting there during tournament time, and let's say Miami of Ohio's in the tournament, and they're like, well, their NIL's $1 million. A lot more fans are going to go, heck, I'm pulling from Miami. They don't have any money.
Hey, John, why is that?
Because what we do in today's society, we stick a dollar sign besides every player. And we used to not do that back in the day, and I know John will remember, but when you had Goose Gossage pitching for the Yankees and come out of the bullpen, no one ever said, well, he got $3.8 million this year to play, and he's on a restricted salary for next year. It was like number 54, Goose Gossage. That's all you knew. And now we assign a dollar amount to every athlete that walks on the floor.
Well, I think if you have fans are paying a talent fee now.
Yep.
And I think because of that at public universities, state universities, you have a right to know where your money's going.
Why can't we FOIA those numbers, John? Because they're through private collectives, right? That's the whole thing.
And
that's the
they
shell
would be
game.
redacted, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting, Mark? They don't want us to know. They don't want us to really know. It's kind of an interesting thing.
But the fans are putting up the money for it.
Griff, the Vols are tracking for what seed right now, in your humble opinion?
Well, I'm a Lenardi guy, so they're right now, as of today, they're the first 5th seed, so they're the number 17 team.
Right.
So they're comfortably at number 5. Okay. Vanderbilt's one behind them. St. John, and then Arkansas. Those are guys on the 5 line as of today.
Okay. We don't think Patino can coach, do we, guys? All right, moving along here. Who are the teams? Who does Lenardi have right in front of Tennessee?
Well, right in front of Tennessee's got Bama.
Okay.
They're 16. Virginia's 15.
Okay.
Texas Tech 14, Michigan State 13. Those 4 teams are on the 4 line as of now, which I predict to be some movement. I think first the biggest one that stands out is, it's easy to say, well, if Tennessee beats Bama, they can move up. Sure. Texas Tech, with the loss of Toppin, they're going to drop. I think that he's the glue that makes them go. He's really a special player, All-American, and I just don't see Texas Tech staying at a 4 seed with him injured.
Matt, any thoughts on Griff's take there, or Bry?
No, I agree with it. Texas Tech, unfortunate. He's the best player in the Big 12. To get him injured this late in the year is really rough.
Sad. It's really sad.
If they can beat Vandy twice and Alabama twice, Tennessee should have a shot to even maybe get up to a 3, maybe.
That's our
belief. Especially if you get him another good win in Nashville.
That's our belief.
And with that said, just to give you a 3 for a stretch goal, Florida is number 9.
Yes.
So these are 3 seeds. Florida, Nebraska 10, Gonzaga 11, Kansas 12.
Here's the issue with the Gonzaga. How in the hell? And I know they play people non-conference. But once they get into their league, John, what's the point? What's the point of watching it, and what's the point? And how do you compare them with these other teams that are playing in real leagues?
I know they place great import on their non-conference schedule. That's what they...
Okay, but that's shut the year off, because that's what you're doing. Their league...
Well, I guess they're saying, well, it's not, you're in that conference, we're not going to penalize you that much because your conference is bad. You can't control that. What you can control is whom you schedule non-conference. And if they are aggressive in doing that, and playing a tough non-conference schedule, I think the tournament committee really rewards that.
They are going into that newly configured Pacific Coast League next year as a basketball-only member, which is kind of interesting. That new Pac-12 thing, it's like a weird amalgamation of teams on the West Coast, which will be a more difficult basketball league, be a pretty good basketball league. Griff, one thing I love about you is the range that you bring, the passion that you bring. You've been excellent today, man. You've been locked in. You've taken a few cheap shots at me, but that's all right.
And he's an even better person.
He's an awesome dude. He's an awesome dude.
You're not Danny White, though. I took a couple shots at him, but that's easy.
Well,
but you know what's funny? You were talking about Gonzaga, and I'm like, I saw them play several times.
Yes.
And sure, they're in a crappy conference, but, they can only control the controllables. But if you look at their pre-conference schedule, and I just looked them up.
Yes.
They beat Alabama by 95-85.
All right, hang on. Hold your thought, because I want to remind people that we're out of time. We're going to stay on and do some extra time overtime. I don't know how much. I don't know if I'm getting to the callers. The callers are there. I don't know. I mean, I'm not making any promises because we're on late night tonight. But I will tell you this. The Playbook with William Pattison is up next year on Fan Run Radio. It's unbelievable, Andy. And then Dubsy and the gang after that, Bob Baskerville and the crew. Much love.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
By the way, he says no chance. Somebody's saying no chance for 3 seed. A lot of basketball left to be played. These teams all have 4 games left. Anything can happen from here. Here, there, and everywhere. But go ahead, Griff.
Yeah, let me just finish this real quick.
You're the man.
Lost to Michigan by 40.
Yep.
Beat Kentucky by 35. Beat UCLA. I mean, they're not going to make tournament out. Well, they may, but I don't think so. So they have played pretty good. One people could consider a pre-conference schedule. Much better than what Missouri played. I know we're about done talking about Missouri, but Missouri played no teams that are selected to be in the NCAA tournament except Kansas and Illinois, which they lost by 20 to Kansas, and they lost by 33 against Illinois. So they don't have the resume at all. But a win tonight changes everything, because Lenardi, once again, going back to Lenardi, he has them as the last 4 in. And they know that going into tonight how big this game is. This is a huge game for Missouri.
It's no question. And that's the thing about the Rick Barnes era at Tennessee, Mark, that I can't get out of my head, is how we're hunted every time we walk on the floor now. The profile of the program, I love it. Yeah, I love it. But Vanderbilt, Tennessee was a huge basketball game to Vanderbilt on Saturday. That's what's impressive about that. And you went down there and won that game without Estrella, and in a really impressive fashion. That this team has learned how to finish at the end of games. I just think that's the most surprising thing to me, because I looked at Gillespie guys 3 weeks ago and I said there is a guy lacking instinct playing point guard for us. But you know what? He's handled himself really well at the end of games. I mean, I'm kind of ready to sort of change my opinion of him, which is what these long seasons are about. You have to be slow to... You got to kind of be opinionated, John, with what you see, but you can't put it in concrete. You know, you just can't.
And it's so different from football, because one football game matters so much.
Yep.
It's really hard writing columns on basketball, because in columns you're trying to put a win or a loss in perspective. Mm-hmm. And when you're playing 30-something games, it's just not meaningful. It's just not that meaningful. So many teams are going to have ups and downs. They're going to have a 3-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go on a winning streak, and the schedule. Tennessee's capitalized on a lighter schedule after a tougher one to open the SEC season. So, yeah, it's really hard to judge a basketball team. And the key thing is, if you make the tournament, it's a whole new world. If you get it together at tournament time, everything can change.
Hey, Mark, I want you to take the quiz because I was asking about with the game we saw Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Our belief has been that this basketball team has a ceiling of a Sweet 16 this year. The belief. Of course, you never know, and you don't even know the draw, and it's all in a vacuum, and it's all silly anyway. But we're on here talking. Do you believe that with what we've seen, the way they've come on board defense, and they're really defending like a Barnes team, and you pointed out something that hopefully I'm repeating tonight and giving you credit for, which is that Gillespie now stays in a defender stance a lot more than he did when he first got here. They've coached that into him, and he's become more of a formidable defender at the end of the games because of that. Is the ceiling now higher, potentially, for these guys? Do they have that Elite Eight ceiling in your mind? Which somebody
potentially it is higher. I think we all have more hope. What we've witnessed over the last several weeks, and minus the blunder against Kentucky, yes, which will always be horrific to relive that for me many years to come. But like John said, it's so different than football. You have so many more games you're in. Your number, what they call the N, is much higher, that you just have to continue to move on, even through the 2 losses to Kentucky. I mean, Tennessee is facing a great chance to have a double bye going into the SEC tournament. And we talked about, Sweet 16, and it's just real exciting looking at seeding, because to me, seeding's matchups, and let's just play the big if game here. But if Tennessee has the double bye and continues on this climb, and let's say they win the SEC tournament, I mean, they could move as high as a 3, or you guys mentioned this as possibly high as a 2. I don't see a 2, but as high as a 3. But let's just play it safe now and say they're a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Then they'll have I think a fantastic chance to move forward and hopefully be on the stage playing against the number 1 seed if they 16. Advance.
Yeah,
I'm not really afraid of any team that Tennessee plays, because I was so high on Houston, and then now I'm watching Houston. I'm like shaking my head, going, and I kept thinking they're going to win the championship. Now they may still do with the talent they have, but that's a program that's really scratching their head right now, and they're going to be a 2 seed. But And I look at matchup. It's all about matchups, which we'll dive in more down the road. But look at a team like Michigan. Everybody's raving about Michigan right now, and they're a great team. I mean, they're going to have 3 bigs that are going to get drafted in the NBA.
Yep.
But they don't have the depth at guard. They have Cadeau, the transfer from Carolina. But I look at matchups. I'm like, if Tennessee's healthy, and I'll just play this out. If Tennessee's healthy and Estrella's playing and he's finally diving on the floor, I think Tennessee matches up really well against a team like Michigan, because they can bang. They can rotate players in, like, with the power that Michigan has with their inside presence. So who knows? That's what's so great about college basketball, because you just don't know. There's no clear-cut favorite. No clear cut.
Well, Matt, do you find the ones, like I was told yesterday that I didn't understand seed lines and I didn't know what I was talking about, because Tennessee would have no chance against any of those 1 seeds. And I'm sitting there going, huh? I mean, no chance? Like one of them is Purdue from a couple years ago, or that Houston team we saw last year. I might be missing it. I don't see that in this field. I might be missing it. What do y'all think? They wouldn't have a chance?
No, I agree. I mean, yes, Houston's struggling right now, but that's to my point. Most every team struggles at some point in the year. It goes through a down period, and I think that's what's going on with Houston. I still think it's a very viable national championship contender.
Of course.
And that was a great win for Tennessee to hang with Houston and beat Houston early in the year. I know it was early in the year, but just knowing how talented that team is, how well coached it is, pretty versatile team. If you can beat Houston, you can beat a lot of teams.
Hey, Bri, who are the projected 4-1s right now? Who are they, Bri? Everybody's telling me Tennessee could never beat.
Well, you got Michigan, Duke, Arizona, and maybe a Gonzaga, an Iowa State.
Who's the fourth one, Mark?
Like
Who's the fourth one, Mark? Do you guys have it in front? Anybody have it in front of them?
Michigan, Duke, Arizona for sure.
I think by the end of the year it'll still be Houston as the number.
Okay. I mean, that league is so good. But
UConn's on the one line.
I forgot about UConn.
How could I forget them?
Matt, who's the most unbeatable of those four when you look at it for us? I mean, we're this close to the tournament now. Only a few games left.
For Tennessee?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all pretty similar. They all have good size.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched a ton of UConn or Michigan, but Tennessee can play with Duke. They did that exhibition.
Yes.
Arizona with Tommy Lloyd and Tobe Awaka would be kind of fun
really
to see.
great. Yes, and plus Arizona has that history of getting in that spot and gagging, which would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Tennessee actually could match up pretty well with all those teams. And like you said, I don't think there's like a clear-cut number one team or team that's just so much better than the field. Like one of those UConn teams a few years ago. Like I don't see any of those.
I know who Brian wants.
And the way Tennessee plays, they're going to be in close games. They're not going to blow teams out. They're not going to get blown out. They, especially now that they're kind of locked in defensively.
I think that's why the Vanderbilt win was so significant. The fact that Tennessee did things in that game that maybe it hasn't done throughout the SEC season. Handled the final minutes, made tough shots under duress, took care of the basketball.
And another thing that Tennessee did so well against Vanderbilt is they've got a strong perimeter shooting team with Nickel, Miles, and Tanner. If one of those doesn't play well, Vanderbilt still wins. Two doesn't shoot well, they don't win. Nickel, he hit one huge three-pointer towards the end of the game, had 0 points with, I believe, 6 minutes left in the game. And I even commented, I said, I wonder if he's going to score because he's going to start pressing because he hasn't scored. And he nailed a tremendous shot, which was one of Tennessee's mistakes of not staying on him. But overall, the perimeters, Tennessee did a fantastic job with their perimeters because Miles is a hell of a player, the transfer from Oklahoma. And as we know how good Ty Tanner is.
Hey, Griff, they didn't let him breathe, man. I mean, the defensive performance by Tennessee, aside from a couple of just open shots Vandy got, which, hey, I mean, they're Division I players, but I mean, that was pretty close to perfect game on defense by the Vols. I mean, that was, and then down the stretch, to your point, Mark, Miles made 2 circus shots. That 1-3 ball he made off 1 foot falling away. I mean, that's some old crazy NBA stuff back in the day.
That's a comfortable win if he misses those.
Oh, no question, Brian.
And they made another running hook shot off the glass, I think, that looked like a circus shot. So they had 10 or 11 points just off circus shots that they pulled out of their you-know-what.
My pick to click tonight. Who's y'all's pick to click? Let's go around the room. Who you got, Griff? Who's a pick to click besides this Mitchell guy that you've been fluffing?
Explain pick to click.
The guy that's going to have the best game.
Oh, for Missouri?
Anybody. Your pick to click tonight.
I'm still gonna go Mitchell. I think he's gonna click. I really do. I think Tennessee can withstand Mitchell with a really good game, but if they can contain Mitchell, I think that if they can keep Mitchell under 20, I think Tennessee could win double digits. But if Mitchell gets out of the gate, plays really well, and we get some of our bigs in foul trouble, there's a concern. I do think Tennessee can pull this game out tonight, but it's going to be a challenge and a much-needed challenge when you're looking at growth to have a big win on the road.
Who from Tennessee tonight's the pick to click, Mark? Who has the game?
That's a good question. It'd be easy to go with Amen since I mean I just think you have to look at momentum.
Yep.
You've got to look at how they're really getting him the ball more on early offense. Amen's bringing the ball down the court more like a point forward, which I think is very pleasing.
Yes.
So I just think you ride the horse. You just keep giving it to him and let him go. And I don't care what his shooting percentage is, but when you hit a big shot like he did, you want the ball in his hands when it's game time. You just do.
He had a scorer's line the other day. What I love about scorers is it doesn't matter if they're not shooting well from the field. He's 3 of 13, but he makes every foul shot in front of him. Scorer's line. I mean, scorers are going to score, and simpletons look at, well, he was 3 of 13. No, he wouldn't. No. It's not a shooting percentage game. It's about scoring, getting to the foul line, converting your shots into scores, because that's what you do. You're a scorer.
Thanks for explaining that, Tony.
Thank you. Well, I've got a couple friends that get on me about Nate Ament's percentage shooting the basketball, and I'm like, if you watch basketball through that lens, you're not appreciating what you're seeing from him because he scores.
Well, another thing that people don't appreciate, and I haven't really appreciated as much too, is his rebounding ability. He's the leading rebounder on the team. If you quiz
I had no
10
idea.
fans, 10 UT fans said, who's the leading rebounder? I'm just going to assume 8 out of 10 would say Akpara.
Did you know that,
I don't
John?
think many would say Amen, but he's the leading rebounder on this team.
Matt, were you?
I think because they have the post players rotate in so much. I would guess.
I was just
they play a
looking
bunch of different combos.
Excuse me, I was just looking at the stats, so I wouldn't have known that otherwise.
A game, though, Brian.
Who's your pick to click tonight, Matt, in this game?
I think Gillespie goes for 25 to 30.
That's a good solid pick. I like that.
I think it's one of those games where he makes 4 or 5 first half threes.
Mm-hmm. Bri, who you got?
I'm going to go with Dwayne Brown. I think defensively, he can bang around with Mitchell.
Yep.
And I just really like how he's playing his body is not, that doesn't suggest he's a freshman. He's got an NBA body right now. Call me crazy. But I liked him from the first time I saw him in that Duke game. Exhibition, and he's proven me to be right, which I rarely am right.
Don't put yourself down like that, Brian. Come on.
Hey, Tony, not to jump in before you get to John on this, but I think this is a great point that Brian made too. And I heard Barnes mention this a couple weeks ago when he spoke at the Big Orange Tip-Off Club. He said that Brown had the longest length on the team. And that shocked me because he's not the tallest, but his arm length is longer than anyone on the program.
That's pretty next level. I got long arms. John?
Hold up your
arm. Except when the bill comes.
They're not that long.
They're pretty long for me, for my size.
I don't think so.
I got good reach. I could box as a kid.
Well, that's hereditary.
And in wrestling,
that's in your family.
And in wrestling, I could get my hands on.
Did you box John Oates? Because John Oates, your boy from Philly, was a boxer growing up. You knew that, right?
No,
a wrestler. He
wrestled. Yeah. He wrestled at Owen J. Roberts. Yeah, I knew that. You got to see him Friday. Did you say hi to him?
I did. Fantastic. He's all of 5'4" and 77 years old.
That's right.
He's still kicking it, Tony.
5'4" and 77, and out there doing it, John. How long did John Oates play? Like 90 minutes?
At least, yes.
It's neat, isn't it, John Adams?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. Who clicks tonight, John, for the Vols?
Well, I think you guys have pretty much covered it, but one thing I'm really curious about is Boswell's play tonight.
He's my pick.
If he has another good game, I just would like to see what if that game against Vanderbilt, in which he was so effective in different ways.
Yep.
If he extends that in another game, I think it would be a really good sign for Tennessee going into March.
I'm Colby Calais, and I'm in the key of E right now, and I'm falling for that guy. I spend my da-da-da-da-da. I'm falling for that Boswell guy, man. That guy's made a believer out of me.
No song?
Yeah, I'm falling for you.
Well, I was thinking of another one after you said, I'm a believer. I thought that would spark it.
You ever heard that song by Colby Calais, Falling for You?
No.
It's cute. You've heard it, guys.
No, I haven't.
Matt, have you heard it?
And after he hears to listen to you, I don't really want to hear it.
Listen, you guys have heard this song. It goes like this. It goes, let's say it goes.
That sounds pretty good. Sing some words, Tony.
Exactly.
Boy, now, for you.
Okay, I'll write that down. What's the name of the song again?
Try to
Tony, what's it?
Falling for You, Colby Calais. It's really nice.
All right.
Griff, anything else on the way out?
Well, let's just hope they're not Tom Petty and free falling tonight. That's what I got to say. So
that's a great jam.
Looking forward to the game. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Love you,
really
brother.
appreciate it. Go Vols.
Thank you, brother. Love you. John, your call. We get some calls in and get out of here. And Griff, I love you. Thank you for all you do.
Thanks, guys. Love y'all.
Love you, Griff. What do you think? Few call. They've been waiting for like an hour. Few calls or.
Well, I would.
People have been on hold for an hour. Now, I didn't promise. I guess
I think if they've been. If they've been on that long, I mean that justifies it. But you don't. But see, Tony, hold it. Mm-hmm. What you have a tendency to do, though, you're just going to say, okay, we're just going to take a couple of
Laura
calls.
says I'm not disciplined. I love what I do so much.
You have no discipline. No,
I love what I. Matt and I talk about that. Matt, I love what I do so much. I'd stay on there like 2:30 if left to my own devices.
I know, but you don't need to do that.
And burn myself
into the
ground. Yeah, burn myself out.
You've got some congestion. You're taking medication. Mm-hmm. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, I was getting congested.
This just in, you're not a young man anymore.
You're still a young man.
No,
baby,
you're not.
Don't waste your time. Were you a fan of Tower of Power back in the day, the Oakland Sound?
No.
You're still a young man? That's a great jam. Da-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na-na.
So why did
Power horns?
Instead of that, why not just take
Lenny
a call?
Lenny Williams sung the song.
Here's what you do.
All right.
Here's what you do. You take one call.
All right.
And if it's really good, you take another one, and then you cut it down. Either way, you don't take more than two. Now pick one and pick another one. Okay?
Dave says Boswell's awful against the press. He has a habit of throwing it to the other team. Dave, he's playing a team that's going to play zone defense, sweetheart. But I appreciate you, Dave. Isn't it weird that the guy at Missouri has changed the way he approaches the game, Matt? I wonder if it's because I asked Gabe DeArman basically said he had to acclimate to his players. He had to.
But he recruited the players.
I know, but in recruiting, you only get what you get, you know? It's like almost going on a shopping spree, competing against others.
I don't see that, but well, Tony.
All right,
you're drifting off.
My friends at VIP Play want to remind you tonight's. Hey, what's the line in tonight's game, Brian?
It is Tennessee minus 3.5.
Vols minus 3.5. $20
Yes.
bet. You get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. If you want to play tonight's game for entertainment purposes only, I would give you a couple of things to go with it. But I would just, I don't know what I'd play in that. John, if I forced you to play a side, Tennessee 3.5, what do you got?
I'd take Tennessee.
Yeah, I think Vols are going to roll tonight, too. I don't want to jinx anything. Live always, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options. You got a bet in mind. VIP Play team will create it for you if it's a compliant bet type in the state of Tennessee. And remember, everybody gets treated like a VIP over at VIP Play. Gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. And by the way, shout out to VIP Play Will Heflin, who's just dropped a brand new starting rotation for this week. And and the aftermath of the Kent game, which, Matt, just to repeat, your level of concern's not high. I don't care if the Vols go to Texas this weekend and flame out. It's just, to me, it's way too early in the season to start. I mean, baseball's a process sport. We've seen that with Tony here. Is that right, Matt? You're not going to be greatly concerned if they go down there and get beat up, are you?
I mean, not too much, unless it's like they get beat in like 3 non-competitive games.
Yeah, if the pitching gets shelled,
if you go down there and lose, 2, go 1-2 or whatever, but whatever. It's just, I mean, it's so early in the year, and I don't think there's a sport where teams improve more than college baseball because they have so little practice time, and it's coming off of winter.
Yep.
And, a lot of teams literally have barely practiced outside before the season, so a lot of the fielding and some of the situational stuff will improve throughout the year. But I do want to see the hitting get better.
Yep.
And trying to manufacture runs some ways. I think the pitching will be fine when you get the warmer weather and teams aren't looking to get hit and just standing over the plate. So I'm not more concerned than I was going into the weekend, even though it was just a really bad 3 games.
John, do we do a speed round with these callers, Matt and Bri and John?
What?
Everybody gets like 90 seconds and you holding to it?
I vote for speed round. Speed round and get out.
Wow, that's very strong comment on your part, Brian. I say, look, I'll follow Brian's lead and say that would be a good way to do it. How many callers? But I
got
think
4 callers on hold.
Okay, take all 4 and limit them to a minute and a half.
All right, let me get my.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for my. Hang on, I'm looking for. I just got an iPhone. Bri, where on the iPhone is the my counter?
Tony, I don't have time for this. I got to go.
No. Hang on. Stopwatch.
I was just kidding.
Stopwatch.
I was kidding.
Stopwatch. I got to my stopwatch.
Oh, I like it. I never use that.
Yep.
Will you hold it up so I can? No, that'd be too much trouble.
Should we put it up there and let people see the stopwatch? Let them count along.
Where are you going to put it?
Right here. Hang it on my hand. Let me see if it works. Yeah, people can see it. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go ahead and go to the phones. Everybody gets 2 minutes and hit it. You're on the air. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Well, that caller managed to make it say everything in 2 minutes.
Hello? Yeah, hi. You're on the air.
Sorry, Tony. I don't know what was going on there. Jake from Memphis. How y'all doing?
Hey, Jake, go right ahead. You're on the air.
I had a really cool experience over the weekend. Wanted to share it with y'all. We were in the Birmingham area and decided to stop in for the doubleheader Friday night on the softball game. And man, it was just awesome to see, especially the second game when they played UAB. That place was packed, and I don't know. It was awesome to see little girls looking at Carlin and just idolizing her. And every pitch she threw in the warm up, the whole stadium was just oohing and eyeing, and it was awesome to see firsthand. If people get a chance this weekend to go watch her pitch, especially, but just the team overall, so fun to see them in person and to see their impact on just the girls abroad in general, because that place was packed.
Hey, excuse me, but Tony, your timer's not working.
I turned it off for Jake. I like Jake.
Yeah,
hey, John, you called.
Jake just made a great point. He's talking about these ladies and the effect these girls are having.
I know, but it just again reflects your lack of discipline.
Yeah, John, you called Tony an old man. He's a young man compared to you, I believe.
God, you can't do that. We're both old.
No, I'm a lot older than Tony.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But you got a great fastball, John.
And now the clock is running.
Yeah, the clock's now running when you do that.
The clock's up. No, I just wanted to say, if people get a chance to go see softball team, go check them out, because they're so much fun to watch.
Thank you. And John, you wrote about the softball team. Now, John, you have a thing. That you have a deal where you can tell the interest level in something when you write it. Did the softball team get some good traction? Softball article?
The early returns were really good. I mean, we go by analytics, and I didn't know how it would play this time of year, but I think it came at a time where maybe the fans have won it. Have you got me on the clock, Tony?
Oh, no, I'm just holding it up for posterity's sake. I got to hit the reset button.
Oh, okay. Well, I just think maybe the Lady Vols basketball team's not doing well. Maybe fans are paying more attention to the softball team. And
Brian Hartman, who's written another piece this week, he's going to track them all week. Brian, you're convinced we're all going to be watching this softball thing by the time it's over, aren't you, Brian? You're convinced of that?
Yeah, because I think they're national championship good. I really do. Karen Weekly is due. She should have already won one.
Yep.
And it's inevitable. She's gonna get one before she retires and hangs it up.
Brian, how do you reset on? Oh, there it is. Reset. All right. Now I got the old 60 Minutes thing up. Like
what? That's a completely different deal. What
do you like
happened?
that or no?
No, I like the other one.
All right, hang on. You're a clown. How do I do this?
I don't know, Tony, but you're killing so much time with this. I mean, you could have got another caller in. Two callers.
Brian, what do you think of my caller pace so far? Good or bad? What do you think, Brian?
It's pretty mediocre.
It's
horrible. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Overdrive Overtime. Oh, I'm sorry. I got you muted. Go right ahead. Oh, I don't know who could that be? That was me tying up a line. All right, let's go back to our. That's why
talk about not able to finish up out a game.
That's why it echoed. Yeah, I'm not executing right now.
Whatever the radio equivalent of fouling a 3-point shooter is, Tony does it about 5 times a show.
But there's something endearing about Tony.
This is like a 10-second count and a 3-point shooter foul, too.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
I was tying up a line because I wanted to be fair to people, and I didn't want them holding on like these people have held on. So we got one more caller. But we could sneak another caller in because technically that means, right, in a 2-minute drill type thing.
Tony, I haven't thought that much about it.
All right, Laura's texting me. She just said get off.
Yeah, really.
All right, let's go to the phones. That's what she... Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
So they probably would have actually called you for a 3-second violation right there.
Yeah, it was really bad. When I brought my own phone up and it was echoing and I realized what I did, I was just trying to be fair. But Lee, good to hear from you.
Yeah, I was just going to. The one team I think y'all didn't mention when y'all were talking about the teams, and I don't think there'll be a 1 seed. And I hate to say this, but it's Florida. I still think there's a real legit chance that that's the best team in the country.
I agree with that.
So I was just going to bring them up. No, I don't think there'll be a 1 seed, but yeah, I think they're definitely kind of in. Everybody's kind of forgotten about them. I don't think that's really wise. But
what are the Vols tracking? What are the Vols tracking for in your mind when you look at them right now? What's left in the season, and then the SEC tournament? What seed line are you looking at?
I mean, ideally, I would love to get off the 4 and get to a 3, just to avoid like a potential 1 if you get out of the first weekend in the Sweet 16. I think that's going to be pretty tough to get to a 3, unless maybe if you win the SEC tournament or make it to Sunday. But otherwise, I think you're probably looking at a 4. I think there's a couple teams. There's 2 or 3 teams ahead of you. I think you can definitely jump. So.
Yeah, that's kind of Griff's read on it. That's kind of Griff's read. What's your take on tonight's game, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, so the spot is I get the spot talk. Tennessee's coming off the road win at Vandy. You got Bama on deck, and Missouri really, really needs the game. I get all that, but I think schematically, I think it's really good for Tennessee. Normally, zone defenses have given Barnes problems in the past, but I don't worry about it as much with this team. Just having a minute to be able to get its ball to at the foul line, and Mark talked about the bigs being able to pass the ball. I'm just not as high on this Missouri team. They're really transition and rim reliant, and that's a tough ass versus a Rick Barnes defense. He don't let you get out in transition, and it's real hard to get to the rim on Tennessee. So, yeah, I kind of like Tennessee. I think the price is kind of cheap on them tonight at 3.5. I just think they're the overall better team.
Lee, love you.
I don't think they're going to go in there and sleepwalk. So,
you're my man,
I like
Lee.
them.
Call us after the game. You're an hour later. John, how'd I do with Lee?
Not well at all. 17 seconds over.
That's not true. It's 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Look at that. When he got off, it was 2 minutes and 2 seconds. That's pretty good.
No.
Hey, Lee, I love you. What do you mean not 17?
You're wrong. I was looking at the clock.
I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at it right here.
You don't really see that well.
Oh, that's right. I'm looking at the clock late. Oh, I see now. Because there's a delay to YouTube. Now people are getting to see behind it.
Oh, well.
Matt, what do you think of this?
I mean, it's a one-of-one show, and the overtimes get extra crazy and
Taylor,
special.
Matt, I want to know how you plead to this.
You're clicking on all cylinders from your perspective.
Taylor Vol says TB gives his pets extra time, Negative and Columbo. Do you think that's true that those guys are de facto pets of the show, Matt?
I mean, you do tend to give those guys a little bit more time for their calls because you like they do bring up good topics though. But
see, they bring up good topics, Taylor. I mean, what can I say?
You gotta play your best hitters at the top of the order. So
I mean, Taylor, I love you. You're my guy. Taylor, you bring great information and passion and wit and wisdom to the deal. You're one of my pets too, Taylor. I'm sorry you feel that way, John. I hate that Taylor feels that way, don't you?
Why?
When I really love Taylor.
Why is the clock running now?
Oh. Lee, thank you. Callers, thank you. Everybody, thank you. John, thank you.
Sure.
Matt, thank you. I want to thank Jennifer Morris one more time. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. She of Keller Williams. John, appreciate you. Go ahead.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was just waiting for you to finish. I've been waiting.
John's putting his coat on, Bri. What's that mean?
It means it's time to sign off. We'll see you tonight.
Does Negative think we're winning, losing, or drawing tonight, Bri? What do you think? What do you think Negative's view of this thing
Negative
is?
never thinks they're winning.
Yeah, he is. Negative.
He's got Missouri shooting like 80% from three.
But
winning
how,
the paint points.
Dave,
point
I think
paints
you're
like
Dave,
or paint points like
Dave,
68 to 12.
No offense to Negative, but you might be my toughest coaching job yet. But I am going to coach your ass up. I'm going to turn you into a fair and balanced sports fan before it's over, Dave. I want you to know that. I've got you in my crosshairs, brah. I'm going to have you out. I might have to have you out to the house for a little watch party just to kind of get some normal fandom in here. You think I'm the guy to do that, John?
Tony, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
I mean, you can't end the show. You can't finish.
It's Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime tonight. As soon as tonight's game goes final, we love you. We appreciate you. Matt, thanks for your hard work. Bri, thank you for your hard work. Bri will shine like the sun in the middle of the day tomorrow over at tclub.team. Today is Matt's day to shine like the sun in the middle of the day. And remember, traffic's getting thick down on Cumberland Way. Yay, yay. John, before the next time we talk, will our Lady Vols get a victory?
No.
Huh? They got 2 games left, right?
They're playing LSU Thursday. That's a blowout.
No, they'll hang in that game. Bri, what would the line in that game be? If you made a line, Bri.
Probably LSU by 15 to 20.
Oh, you guys are
15,
really starting to piss me off. All right, till we
They
meet
might have a shot to get Vandy. I'll see you tonight, Tom.
Love you guys. Thanks. John, you coming on tonight with us? Watch us. You going to jump in tonight? If you're, if you want to, I'd love to have you.
No.
You never join us for hoops.
I've joined you before.
You do. You have. That's right.
Yeah. Maybe during the tournament, but you had so many people on the show.
Yeah, we have an ensemble cast.
Yeah,
right
you
now.
really don't need anybody else.
Hey, Seabird, get on back to us, Seabird.
Fan Run Radio.
Love Seabird. is in the air everywhere I turn around. Matt Dixon's on the air. Dixon, how we doing, brother? Everywhere I turn around.
Good. Doing all right.
You pumped? Are you pumped today?
Yeah. It's gonna be a long night, but yeah, I'm
sugar,
pumped.
man. Sweet sugar with the candied yams. You know that's true. Cool. Tonight's gonna be a long one. 9 o'clock start. Watching Missouri and Tennessee play basketball. I could think of better things to do at my time. John Adams, as I welcome you in. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, and I think Tennessee, Missouri could be a really good game. I thought that